Hello, and welcome to 15 Minutes of Fame. My name is Robert Foisey. I'm the director of 15 Minutes of Fame, and we have a very unique show for today. We're presenting the flutist of Alise Anna Alksne. She's an amazing flutist, as you will see, and uh, we'll get a chance to speak with her a little bit later after the show, but I think you'll see that 15 Minutes of Fame is no easy feat. It's You need to be very dynamic and be able to approach 15 different pieces, all with you know uh, that have different aesthetics, and approach them in the same way. So let me tell you a little bit about 15 Minutes of Fame. It's 15 one-minute works that are written for a specific musician. We have a few composers here today to talk about their pieces.
Hello, Robert. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about this flute piece that Elise is going to play with today?
Okay, yeah, this is a part of a cycle that I have started to write them because of the Vox Novus. To be honest, that was the opportunity to open a cycle of solo pieces in order to explore the timbre potential and to explore various kinds of forms. That's ideal with a timbral potential of the C flute. And I have borrowed many things by Greek culture and traditional timbres that folk wind players use to apply to their music here.
Pat, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the piece?
About myself? Oh dear. Well, I'm a retired music teacher. I'm mainly a string player, but I used to play medieval and Renaissance winds as well as strings, and I compose. The thing about one minute pieces, it gives you the freedom because you can do what you like. Although in this case, I researched Alise and guessed perhaps what her personality might be like, and I could see what her technique was like, and I started from there.
This is ETG. He's a composer and he composes 1 minute works. You want to hear more about his bio, maybe you should check out the other 15 Minutes of Fame he was on. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your piece that's being coming up by Alice?
Okay. Well, as it says in the actual score, I think, or maybe it was in the, no, it's one of the blurbs I sent to you. It's sort of like, if the audience can figure out the process, that's nice. So it is a process piece in that way. I wrote a very brief, because it's only 1 minute, melodic fragment or melody. And from that, which only contains, I believe, 7 or 8, no, I guess it's 8 notes, put together short groupings by a process, no big deal, and then left everything else that I could to the performer. So it's very improvisatory, coming from my background as a free improv and a group improv and a structured improv.
Erik Branch is a native of New York City and received a BA and MA in music composition from Hunter College. He lives in Orlando, Florida, where he is a pianist, musical director, composer, arranger, operatic tenor, and actor on stage and screen. You are no stranger to 15 Minutes of Fame.
That's true. Although I think the last time I was performed in a 15 Minutes of Fame performance was 2017, I believe.
Okay.
With this piece particularly, I always start the title comes last. I listened to as Pat did. I listened to Alise and listened to her style of playing and so forth, and I let that guide me. I had an initial motif and developed it, and as I was casting about for a title, it occurred to me that this is very well insect-like with the trills in it, the flutter tongue, and so forth. And of course, the flute. It's always a sort of summery outdoor idea, and I thought of this quotation from Keats's "Grasshopper and the Cricket," which is where the phrase "in summer luxury" comes from.
One minute PC, it's like it's hard to do it because you need to tell a story, a short story, and it needs to convince people about the story that you are trying to tell. It's hard to tell a short story. So when I saw this call for pieces, I thought it was a very joyful thing to have small pieces, and I just wanted to join in, and I was happy to be part of it. My piece is a kind of experience with a bike bell attached to a flute, and I just hope that any flute were harmed in this process.
Well, we're about to see. And now let's see if we can bring on Alise.
Saludos a toda la audiencia de 15 Minutos de Fama. Soy Carlos Alberto Ocando. Estudié composición en el Conservatorio de Música José Ángel Lamas, en Caracas, Venezuela. Y estoy muy complacido de poder mostrarles mi obra Nivelillo para flauta, interpretada por la flautista Alise Anna. Esta obra es una miniatura inspirada en el vuelo de la libélula, un insecto capaz de volar en todas las direcciones y simboliza la capacidad para cambiar de perspectiva en el camino hacia la madurez emocional. Espero que sea de su agrado. Chao.
Hey, Alice.
Hello, do you hear me now?
That was fantastic.
Yes.
Bravo, bravo, great job.
Fabulous performance, Alice. We all enjoyed it very much.
So I want to let everyone at home know, and also the composers, that I really looked through all of the submissions with really big care, and it took me quite a while to really choose the 15. And I absolutely adored the pieces that I played today, and that's why you're here. And I really appreciate your work, and the variety of difference that I had. It's unbelievable, and I truly was amazed by how many things can so many people think for a flute solo.